This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself.
So today we're going to be replacing this door boot. You can see it has a lot of black mold buildup. It is stacked, so it is possible to do this from the front without having to remove the top and the dryer. So first thing, make sure it's unplugged. Standard head screwdriver. You can pry off this spring clamp. It's holding on the front of the boot. So once you get that off, look up here and you can see that it's attached to the fill tube, so you want to pull it off the fill tube. You're going to push this whole thing in toward the spin basket. That's kind of to get it out of the way so we have better visual access to the band that's holding it on. Which side? Yeah, it's over on this side. And I think it's a Phillips head. Got it right here. You can see the screw right here, and it's pointing up toward the ceiling. So it is a Phillips head, and we're going to use a little ratchet to get in there, loosen it. And once we get it loose, we can pull the whole band off. But this is an important part that's holding the back of the boot on. So it's usually they're on there pretty tight. So I'm pushing down with my thumb, turning it. And the tub is pretty maneuverable, so you can kind of move it back and forth to get it out of the way, give you more room to work. So the reason you might want to go through the front instead of the conventional way of removing the front panel is if there's a dryer up there and you're unable to take off the dryer, then you could do it this way. So here comes the metal band now, it's loose. I'm going to pull it, and then you can just kind of lift it out of the hole. We'll put that back on later. So this one is positioned kind of like this, pointing up. Okay, so with that ring off now, you can take off the old moldy one. Usually you just pull it off. It should come loose. There we go. I kind of started over here on the left-hand side away from the concrete where I had room to work. Comes the old one. You can see all the black mold that builds up in there. It makes it smell bad. If you can keep the door open most of the time when not in use, it really will limit how much mold you get. Let's see if I can clean up some of this before I install it. Before I install the new one, I'm going to use some bleach to wipe down the tub where it comes in contact with the seal, because that's going to be there's a lot of mold spores, and this won't stop new mold from growing, but it may help a little bit. The main thing that stops it is just the area being dry all the time. Alright, so that's a lot cleaner. So we want to use liquid detergent as a lubricant on the seal right here. This is the outer seal. This is the one that's going to link up to the outer part of that tub. But if you lubricate it, it goes on a lot easier. So this technique's a little harder to do, but it avoids having to remove the dryer, and it's overall a little bit faster. And now we're going to put in the new boot, and this part goes at the top. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. So we're just going to get the whole thing in there first. Kind of floppy, doesn't have to be perfect. Just want to get it in position. And this tab again needs to be at 12 o'clock at the top. Reach up there, start seating that one in. I'm going to work my fingers around, seat it. There we go. And I'm going to go to the other side. So I went toward 11 o'clock, now I'm going to go over toward 1 o'clock. Kind of going back and forth. You'll be able to feel it basically click in. You push in with one hand and then further push in with the second hand. I'm already over to 8 o'clock. So although this one's kind of floppy, actually goes on easier than a lot of models. Putting on a boot can be a real hassle because they're super tight, but it's going on pretty easy, so I can see better. There we go. So looking pretty good. I think I gotta go a little bit better on the right side. I think it's on there. I'm feeling around to make sure that it's really on the tub all the way around. If it is, then I can put on that outer seal and then we'll tighten it down. Yeah, it's all the way on there. So we're going to put on this bigger band, have that pointing toward the ceiling. Just go into the hole first and pushing it down at 6 o'clock to feed it in. Okay, now I want to get it up over the ridge. So I want this to be over at about 3 o'clock so I have easy access. Lift it up over. You want to basically push this band back toward the tub as far as it'll go, because that's kind of has a little trough in the rubber where it sits. There we go. And working my way over now toward. Feels like it's in as far as it'll go. So it should be okay to tighten it now. Just feeling around, making sure it's just sitting in that trough. Because if it's not in the trough and you tighten it, it'll pull the boot actually off of the tub. Felt like it slipped out a little bit at the top. Okay, that feels pretty good. I think it's all the way in. Push it a little bit more at the bottom here. It's just the band wasn't fully sitting in that little trough. Feels good now. Feeling at the top. Feels good. So basically I can feel the rubber, and then behind it I feel that the metal is inside that rubber trough. That's cool. Okay. So now I should be able to tighten that up. Do want to get that pretty tight. So change my ratchet. If you guys can see it. It's right there. Then on top. You could use a standard head screwdriver also. It has a slot for it. Feels like it's pretty tight already. That feels really tight. So now we're going to feed this one onto this one. And we did lubricate it a little bit already here, but I actually want to put the lubrication here. Put some around the plastic here. This makes it easier to go on. I'm going to stretch it up over that thing. It's over, now I'm going to push it in as far as I can. There we go. So I can feel the plastic now sticking out. That's good. Okay, now we're going to just put this over the lip. Almost done. It's kind of similar to the way you put on the back of this. Just get it in position, and then you're just going to use your thumbs to feed it over the rim. And we'll use the big clamp to hold it on. There we go. So I'm just using my left hand to pull it over and then my right hand to push it down over the rim to seat it. And do that all the way around. Okay, so then I just go around, feel like it's really on there. Looks good. Then we want to use this liquid detergent to put a coating on the metal. Makes it a lot easier to get these things on. So we go all the way around with the soap. The slipperier the better. Some of these brands are kind of thin. They don't have enough glycerin, so they're not as slippery, but it's pretty good. Make sure the spring is as long as it can get. And you start at 12 o'clock, put it over the rim, and the spring's down at 6 o'clock, and you're going to push down with your thumbs. So see where my thumbs are? Push down, separate, stretch the spring, get it down below 6 o'clock, and then make sure it clicked in, and that's it. So now we got a brand new boot on there, nice and clean, no more mold. One thing to be cognizant of too is area underneath the bowl accumulates stuff over the years, and if you want to clean that, because that glass has to make a nice contact with this rubber. If it doesn't, it may leak. You may find you have a little dribble coming down here every time you do a load. Not bad, but the water shows up here, and it can be corrected just by cleaning that. Looks good. Then you close it, and then make sure, give it a little test, make sure there's no leaks.
Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair. Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.